Hello everybody, Steve here for Who Took My Dice, Ultramarines and Beyond. Welcome to my August channel update. We're just a little bit into August now. Just kind of wanted to go talk about where I'm going, things coming in the future, what I've done in the last little while. So let's start at the beginning. So my Dark Tide inspired Mobian 21st Army is coming along nicely. If you look at one of the other videos I had just recently, I got a 10-man infantry squad done, painted up as the Mobians, all armed with las guns. Just trying to go for what you see in the game. You never really see much of any sort of specialized weaponry on them. And again, this army is fully 3D painted. So everything that I've done has been fully, there's not a single actual GW part in the army. And so now, as of this point, I have the 10-man infantry squad, which will be used as, I guess, I'm assuming Cadians. I'll go through that Cadian, not Canadian, Cadian infantry squads. I have a commander, an Imperial Guard commander, who, depending on how I go, will either become part of a command squad or be sort of on his own and join. I have a gentleman with a banner. Again, and that one was, I took inspiration from seeing the only banner that I've seen. And again, I've said this before, I might be wrong, but you don't actually see much of the Mobian 21st other than them in certain parts of different levels, usually guarding positions or reinforcing positions. Once you're done, like at the Aegeus port, once you've cleared off the landing pad, they land down. There's a number of them where they come down afterwards. And Mobian 21st Guardsmen pile out to defend the position you've just taken. It was always very weird beforehand, but since they've sort of streamlined the missions, it makes a bit more sense now. The only banner that I've seen so far is from actually the 53rd with Commissar Duquesne. There's a guardsman standing next to it. It's a very basic banner. It's literally just the diamond shape that they seem to have everything with 53. I did the same thing on the banner, just a diamond shape, a red diamond, but with a 21 instead. And I also have 3 of my Sentinel proxies, which are just mini tanks, which will be, one is a armored Sentinel, the other ones are Scout Sentinels. Very cool. The armored Sentinel has a las cannon, which is perfect because it's a tank / monster hunter, thanks to its rules. So that's coming along nicely. I've actually taken a slight break from that. I painted up this nice little piece of terrain there. And you see it's 3D printing. See the blue filament there. Just quick dry brush special. I have the other one that I've used since last Christmas. I kind of use a display. It's sort of more of a regular building. This one is definitely, you can see the giant cog there. Definitely more of I would say an Adeptus Mechanicus style building. So I just did a quick dry brush special of gray on everything. And then I used some tin bits or whatever you call it now. I'm still using the old names to sort of give these little details here. And it's hard to see, lighting's not that great, but I also use some Agrax Earthshade around these vents or these fans here, sort of leaking down and down across some of these parts here. Even the front here, it's hard to see. I'm gonna try to get some light there. I did some on this fan here. This little part here I painted green. One, because I have green at different parts through either the terrain or the army itself. And I like to have my terrain sort of matching, using sort of common colors throughout the whole army or display pieces. And I actually put a little light here. I don't know if you can see that, but right there is a little blue there. I painted up sort of just a light shining there, right? It's a cool little Adeptus Mechanicus style army or a foundry or part of some sort of technical building that you might find in the depths of Hive Tertium. Again, it's cool. It's very thin terrain. It's easy to work with, but I also wanted to kind of keep that theme going through this stuff as I build this up. The other cool thing is, now I have that done, I can actually take some sort of like called action shots with the terrain and a mat, and I still have the Poxwalkers that I painted up. I don't know if you can see that, Poxwalker. So I can start doing some cool action shots that I'm gonna put up on Instagram and maybe TikTok, or maybe just do a short. People seem to like those, respond well to those. That's what I've been doing and will continue to do. It's also August, so obviously next month school starts back up, we get into normal rotation, so I've actually taken the time to plan ahead for October and December, because I'm going to do another Halloween special. I've done 2 now, one of which is visible, the other one, again, I've said before, mysteriously vanished on me. I'm not sure where it went, which is kind of creepy in its own way, but I did one last year where I had a Mobian, one soldier from the Mobian 21st trying to make his way through trying to survive the Poxwalkers, and unfortunately he didn't. He was consumed and turned into one of them, which sort of, I think, is sort of the way a lot of them happened, and it kind of flowed well with what we knew of Darktide then. A lot of these Mobian 21st guys went down when the probs first started, and almost none of them came back, which is, typical for guard life, I think. The other thing I'm pretty happy with is I've printed something off that I'm using for a Christmas video, because I did one of those last Christmas. And I know it's still several months away, but I wanted to get it done now. As I said, September is going to start back up school for the kids and back to sort of a standard busier life than right now. So I got that done. I've actually finished painting it up. I'm not going to reveal it right now. It'll be revealed closer, because I have some last little minute details I want to add to it. I want to fix up, but it's got a cool base and a cool model on that base, which will all be explained in due time. Other than that, I haven't been doing very much other stuff hobby-wise. Life has been busy enough, but that's still a lot. The terrain, the models, one of my friends of the channel said I've been on a roll, and I'm going to try and keep that roll going. I've been looking at trying to find some other units that go well with a recon army. All right, because that's kind of what they've been presented in the fluff they've been given, that they don't have any big tanks. I know I have Sentinels, which I was toying with first, being maybe recon elements, but you never really hear about Sentinels, so they're just sort of there for the look, because there's all the whole Mobian Steel. Hive Tertium builds a lot of tanks, so I thought, well, let's have the tanks but make them reconish, so we'll have these cool tank-like Sentinels. But I'm going to just go with those 3, so I want a lot more infantry. So I'm either going to paint off or print off another 10 infantry guys just to build up the numbers. But I've also been looking at other models to make up other sort of recon units. The Krieg Engineers is one unit I'm looking for. I know it's not the best unit, but the rules and what they do kind of fit with what I think the Mobian 21st would have in terms of units that a recon regiment might have. They're built for like aquatic activity deep in the hives, so vehicles don't really fit in with that. That's actually a bit of a tangent. It's what I like about doing an army like this. Obviously you guys know I play Black Templars, I play Ultramarines, obviously Space Marines, very, very cool, and they have a very rich and well-developed history through all the codexes, the stories, all the extra stuff. And so there's a lot of cool stuff to build on with that. You can build an army. They obviously have developed more characters now, so these stories from the video games and the books are now in the game. But a really very rich history, lots to draw from. But at the same time, it's a very rich history, and it can sort of be a bit of a deterrent, right? You know what they're made of, you know what they can do. I think there's something fresh and kind of exciting about making an army that has very little in the way of history. There's not a lot written about the Mobian 21st. We know what's going on with them in the game. That they had these tainted stims that caused a bunch of them to go completely crazy. Kind of know a little bit about where they were beforehand, and that they were what brought them back, and sort of how they fell into working for Inquisitor Grendel. But other than that, it's a wide open book. There's very little things here and there, so you kind of come up with whatever you want. I can make up named characters. There's no one really to say no to, right? Do they have commissars? Maybe. Do they? I know that one of the other things I want to do is print off some Ogryn, because they do apparently have a number of Ogryn. So there's a whole bunch of different things that I can go with, and there's nothing to say that I can't. You know, if I'm building an Ultramarines army, they can use pretty much everything, but obviously if I'm trying to go for a sort of a thematic army on it, there's certain things I'll take, because that's how the Space Marines operate. Now there's still lots of fun in there with attachments and the different companies. I could build a whole bike detachment of Ultramarines if I wanted to, because they're in there, right? But again, I'm limited to that. This way I can kind of put whatever unit I want in, with some possible exceptions based on, you know, the fact I don't want tanks. But other than that, I'm kind of free to do whatever I want and model them any way I want, because it's a regiment that doesn't have much history, which is a lot of fun. So a long-winded way of saying that's why I enjoy doing this particular small army. Other than that, there's really not much else to say. I definitely want to keep going with the momentum I built. I'm hopefully going to print some more stuff off and then get it painted. I did find a Valkyrie that I could print off. It's a lot of pieces. It's going to take a lot of time, but I'm going to hopefully get that done. That way, because again, that's sort of how they get around in the game, and I'm basing that on what I've seen in the game to an extent. But other than that, that's kind of it. Thanks for staying tuned through this. Hopefully it's been informative. It keeps you up to date on what I'm doing, and I'm excited to keep going. So thank you very much, everybody. You know, I'll do the call there. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the like button. Share it around if you want, and keep rolling those dice. I will see you later. Bye.